We're back with Stormy Daniels and her lawyer, Michael Avenatti. Michael, we've got some questions in this case that only I think you can answer, so let's jump in. Yesterday, you were in the courtroom when Sean Hannity's name was revealed as Michael Cohen's secret third client, and you said it went off kind of like a bomb or a stink bomb or something. What happened?
Well, Whoopi, there was about 20 minutes of foreplay leading up to that moment.
Right.
In the courtroom, there was a lot of back and forth.
Right.
Michael Cohen's counsel was doing their very best to convince the judge not to force them to disclose the name.
Right.
They offered to disclose the name privately to Judge Wood.
Right.
There was a lot of debate back and forth. This went on for some time. And finally, she looked at his counsel and said, I'm going to order you to disclose the name publicly. And his lawyer said, well, do you want me to do that on a piece of paper, or do you want me to state it orally? And I was sitting there and I thought to myself, as an experienced trial lawyer, well, what he should do is write it on a piece of paper and hand it to the judge, because what you're hoping is, it's kind of like a Hail Mary, that the judge will look at it and say, well, we're going to hold off, or let me think about this, right? Well, lo and behold, he doesn't do that. And he says, well, then I'm just going to announce it orally. The client's name is Sean Hannity. And all the air was sucked out of the room. You could not breathe in the room. There was gasp. And after about 20 seconds, 10 journalists stood up, because you don't have your cell phone. You don't have your cell phone, so nobody can tweet anything or send a text message. They rushed out of the courtroom, and all I could do as I was sitting there was think to myself, I wonder what Sean Hannity is doing right now, because his world just came crashing down to a significant degree.
And Michael Cohen, you know, his lawyers are saying that this happened. Now, they're admitting that he's the client, and Sean Hannity is saying, oh, it's nothing, it was just a little... Then why were they so reluctant to reveal it if it's nothing?
Well, Joy, I think the reason why, I happen to agree with you, I think the reason why they were reluctant to reveal it is because, remember the context, it's about the documents that were seized by the FBI. Clearly, there are documents that have Sean Hannity's name on them in some capacity, because otherwise there'd be no reason to bring this up. There's no reason to attempt to hide the name. And look, I don't know what the documents say or don't say. We're gonna find out, perhaps.
Do you think that Michael Cohen will ultimately turn on Trump, or is he attached at the hip to this guy?
No, I think there's no question in my mind that Michael Cohen, A, is going to be indicted within the next 3 months, likely, and B, he's going to roll on the president to the extent that...
You think so?
Really?
No question in my mind. No question.
Based on what?
I'll tell you. Based on my 18 years of experience, based on my experience in white-collar cases and how they usually play out, and based on the fact that Michael Cohen has a family, he has kids, I understand that he's a fairly devoted father, and he's not going to look at his wife and say, no, I'm going to go take a bullet for this president and go serve decades or 10 years or 5 years, at least 10 in a federal penitentiary. Why would he do that? I mean, this is a man that Mr. Trump left him behind when he went to Washington. He hasn't done him any favors.
Well, Michael, we're finding out about other NDAs Michael Cohen was involved in arranging. You say this could get into the double digits. How are you so sure?
Well, look, we know of a number of NDAs. I don't want to get into the details of how we know that, but we know that she was not alone. We know of McDougal. We know of other women that have contacted my office. I'm highly confident that it's going to be a pretty significant number. I mean, the problem for the president is he picked the wrong fixer, and he entrusted a lot of his personal secrets to a guy that, frankly, was not smart enough and was not tough enough. And it's just that simple.
Megan and I have been talking about this.
Sonny and I just want to know what the end game is.
What's the end game?
For you two. How does this end? Do you want President Trump to publicly apologize? Do you want him impeached? What's the end game?
I think we've been clear all along for weeks. We want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And we're going to let all of these people decide when they have all the facts and all the documents, and they hear from all sides who's telling the truth and who's lying to them, period.
All right.
That, for me, it is that, but it is also, I mean, on a selfish note, it is my chance to defend myself and to make people realize how and why this happened so I can tell my side. That's my selfish reason. I'm not going to lie about that part.
But I have to stop you because we're out of time. But thanks to Stormy Daniels and her attorney, Michael Avenatti. We'll be right back.